When we used to think of Google, it was just the search engine. But while Googling became a verb, the company started to be known for so much more. While most of its products are still grounded in software, the company has made a real effort to produce its own hardware in the past few years. While some of Google's devices this year are excellent, like the Home Hub, for example, most of them are pretty generic. The Pixel phones still only sport single rear cameras, for crying out loud. And while the Pixel Slate certainly has one of the best screens in its class, overall that tablet has a forgettable design. But it's not just what's outside that matters. When it comes to Google's products, software can not only make up for lackluster hardware, but even give the company's devices an edge over competitors. This year, Google proved that its continued expertise in software make it a contender even in hardware as well. The Pixel 3 is the best example. Physically, the phone is slightly more refined than the Pixel 2 and feels more premium. It also comes in a really nice, not pink color. But aside from that, nothing about the Pixel 3's design makes me long for the phone. In fact, the 3 XL even has one of the biggest screen notches in the market, which some people find utterly hideous. But, if you can stomach the notch or don't mind using the smaller phone, then boy, will you be blown away by Google software. Let's start with my favorite, call screening. On the Pixels, you can have Assistant field calls for you without having to answer the phone or even say a single word. It's easy to underestimate this feature as simply a glorified voice messaging system, but it's so much more than that. Assistant will ask your caller what they want, transcribe what they're saying in real time, and suggest actions for you. So, say you realize it's your doctor calling. You could ask them more questions, dictate a real-time reply, or use a preset action like hang up or promise to call back. Can you do that with voicemail? I don't think so. Obviously, the best application of call screening is in reducing the number of telemarketing and robocalls you answer. But it can also help when you can't speak or just don't want to. And so many people have embraced call screen because it actually solves a problem in our lives. Call screen builds on technology that Google rolled out earlier called Duplex. And I'll admit, I had a lot of concerns at first over how uncanny and realistic Assistant sounded.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
It was even able to mimic tonal inflections that indicated human traits like hesitation and imperfection.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m.?
But the fact that Google was able to get its AI to sound so natural is laudable, even if it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Plus, Duplex is actually a helpful piece of software. It connects restaurants that might not have modern booking systems to a ton of people who would rather not pick up the phone to make a reservation. The best example of the importance of software is Google's imaging algorithms, which are so powerful they help the Pixel 3 nab the smartphone camera crown in our tests. Not only can the phones capture clear, colorful pictures with just a single rear camera, but the Pixels produce the nicest portrait mode effects on pure software alone. And with the magical night sight mode, Google easily kicked Apple and Samsung's butts in low-light photography, turning dark, noisy pictures into shots that look like they were taken in the daytime. I also loved this year's Fit and Maps redesigns, which made both those apps much more helpful. And at I/O, Google showed off an upcoming AR feature that will make getting directions easier. You could just hold up your phone and it will show an on-screen arrow towards the real-life direction you should go. God, I can't wait for that feature to arrive. On other Google devices, like the Pixel Slate, for example, software is also what makes it compelling. The company tweaked Chrome OS to be touch-friendly in tablet mode while remaining powerful and great for multitasking in desktop mode. Sadly though, and almost ironically, buggy software is what kept the Pixel Slate from delivering its promise of being a great tablet for work and play. In fact, Google's software isn't perfect. The Android 9 Pie rollout this year was plagued with bugs, and many new Pixel 3 owners complained of issues like photos not saving or the camera not working. And while its redesign of Wear OS did make the smartwatch software feel less like Android repurposed for a wearable, it's still limited compared to Apple's watchOS. But perhaps bugs are a price you have to pay for being on the bleeding edge. Google's software is so far ahead of other consumer tech companies because it consistently pushes out ideas that aren't finished. Some of them suck, some of them are broken, but when Google gets it right, like it has with Night Sight and call screening, the result is nothing short of magical. Companies don't often make features that are truly helpful, but in 2018, Google proved its software can change your life.